Okay, so I'm going to read an article that I found on npr.com, or is it org? I think it might be npr.org. Yeah. And this is with regard to the Mississippi college student. I think the name of the school was called Delta State University. And he was found hanged um, this week from a tree. So I'm going to read this article to kind of bring us up to date on where they are with his case. Okay, do like a little bit of moderation here. All right, and then I'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so like I said before, this is coming from npr.org, and with this is regarding Trey Reed. All right, Mississippi police await autopsy results for black student found hanged at university. September 18th, 2025. All right, Cleveland, Mississippi. Mississippi police on Wednesday awaited autopsy results for a black student found hanging from a tree at Delta State University. In a case that has ignited strong emotions in a state with a history of racist violence, the 21-year-old student was found near the campus pickleball courts early Monday. While police have said they saw no evidence of foul play, his family is demanding answers and has hired prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Campus Police Chief Michael Peeler released little new information about the investigation. Little new information about the investigation at a news conference, calling the death an isolated incident and insisting there was no active threats to students and faculty. I don't hear anything. Don't really hear much about investigation, but let's read on. And then in quotes, out of respect for those grieving, we ask for continued patience and compassion as this investigation proceeds, Peeler told reporters at the Delta State campus. The chief state medical examiner was conducting an autopsy Wednesday, and Peeler said preliminary findings should be released in a day or two. Peeler said the evidence includes video footage, but he would not say what it shows and where it came from, citing the ongoing investigation. Crump said, and this is attorney Ben Crump, Crump said in a statement Wednesday that police should allow the student's family to view any video police have gathered. He said he also plans to lead an investigation alongside civil rights groups that would include an independent autopsy. And then in quotes, we are taking every step to uncover the truth about what happened, Crump said. So his family has hired Ben Crump. So he is actively helping the family with the situation. All right, family members also pressed for more information from university officials during a news conference on Tuesday. Vanessa Jones, another attorney for the family, said the student had just started classes at Delta State this fall and was full of life, eager to be there. There should have been cameras at the university that easily could enlighten us as to what happened. Jones told reporters, adding, from the moment he left his dorm room or entered that campus, there should be surveillance of all of his actions. And then, let's see, online rumors that the student was found with broken limbs were disputed by Bolivar County coroner. Excuse me. Let's see, were disputed by Bolivar County coroner Randolph Seals Jr. in a statement cited by local news outlets Tuesday. Seals said his office conducted a preliminary examination and concluded the student did not suffer any lacerations, contusions, compound fractures, broken bones, or injuries consistent with an assault. Okay. And then Seals did not immediately return phone messages from the Associated Press. And Seals, again, is that Bolivar County coroner, Randolph Seals Jr. So, in quotes, we recognize that this is not only about facts. Delta State President Dan Ennis said Wednesday, it's about emotions and about feelings and the way this loss and how it was discovered affects people's lives. Well, it's about the person, it could be about a crime. We recognize this is not only about facts, Delta State President Dan Ennis said Wednesday. It's about emotions and about feelings. Well, okay, of course, people are gonna be upset that their family member is no longer with us, no matter what, but where, the investigation, it feels like, I don't know, just the way this is reading, it feels like they haven't allowed the family to be able to see much on their own. They're talking about what the coroner said, but I don't know. And I especially don't really like the way that this Dan Ennis is putting this, but okay. Let me move on. Many social media posts about the case have evoked a darker period in U.S. history when the unaliving of Black people by white, they say vigilantes. Let's just go ahead. Black people by white people. Why are they saying vigilantes and not people? That feels interesting to me. Inflicted a racial terror in Mississippi and other parts of the Deep South. They include the infamous lynching of Emmett Till, whose body was found 30 miles, 48 kilometers from the Delta State campus. Oh, really? So Emmett Till's body was found in this same area. Marquand McKinney said he and other Black students at Delta State have been shaken by the unaliving. And then in quotes, everybody's upset right now, McKinney said, adding that he feels that university officials are trying to downplay the death. And it's a lot of emotions going on, is what Marquand McKinney has said. Yeah, just by reading this, that's how it feels to me as well. Especially as this is coming on the heels of the other, the assassination, and not only the assassination, but like this clarion call that went out to the nation to, I don't know, I feel like it was, I need to get the exact words, but there were 2 to 3 public statements about unleashing on what they call the radical left. And then after that, there were there were threats to HBCUs, so much so that they had to close HBCUs down for class in like those couple following days. I don't know, that might even still be going on, I'm not sure. But they definitely had to close classes down at some of the HBCUs. And, this didn't even have anything or that assassination had nothing to do with anybody from any HBCU, certainly. And, any other Black student for that matter. So, let's see, Nia Grace, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. A super sticker, super chat. I'm not sure, but thank you. So yeah, this is yeah, it feels cold and callous. That's definitely the feeling that you get. And then especially, I mean, it's a hanging from a tree, for God's sake. Like, I just didn't like, even when I first heard about this, for just like right off the bat to say, we don't suspect any foul play. I think you should always suspect foul play. And if this person is not in their living room, at the ceiling fan or something like that, and you can, they come in and the investigators can see exactly how this person could have done this themselves, then it probably should always be assumed that there is foul play. Like, just like if, for example, when there's an unaliving and the person has a partner, the person has a spouse, even if the person doesn't have anybody like that, the first thing that they do is start asking their friends, who was this person dating? So that's the automatic first response to certain situations is, okay, the person that called 911 is like the first suspect, which is kind of seems unfair, but it just is what it is. So to me, like a hanging, and it's not, like I said, it's not in the living room, it's not in the bedroom. You can't come in and just see exactly how this person could have carried it out themselves. Then no, it should definitely be, we are investigating any and all types of foul play that could have played out. So from the very beginning, it felt, oh, well, that's just how it felt. So, let's see, let's carry on. So, Marquand McKinney said that everybody is upset right now, and, rightfully so. McKinney said his mother called him in the middle of a class on Monday to make sure he was okay before he had learned that someone had been found unalived. Located in the heart of the Mississippi Delta near the Arkansas state line, Delta State had a fall 2024 enrollment of more than 2,600 students, 42% of whom are Black. And then U.S. Representative Benny Thompson, a Mississippi Democrat, has called for the FBI to investigate. Yes, please. And, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't even know how much there, hopefully they have some really good career FBI people that are still there that take their job really seriously and take their investigations and all those things really seriously still at this point in time. So, okay, so that is what is going on from that standpoint. That's what NPR reported. I'm going to jump over to this other article from Mississippi Free Press. And let's see, there was something else that they had said about. So Trey Reed's family and police await autopsy results after Delta State hanging death. So I wanted to read, I thought I saw somewhere where his family was hiring an independent autopsy. Let's see, Cleveland, Mississippi. Police in Bolivar County are awaiting autopsy results for Trey Reed, a black student found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. The case has ignited strong emotions in a Delta state with a history of racist violence. A 21-year-old student was found near the campus pickleball courts early Monday. While police have said they saw no evidence of foul play. See, that's what I'm talking about. Just right off the bat, no evidence of foul play. And if you're going to say that, say why you don't think there's any evidence of foul play. But it just feels like nothing to see here, folks. You know, like no, there's not going to be any serious investigation. That's how it feels. To say that feels like what you're not saying is that we're not going to seriously investigate this. Okay, his family is demanding answers and has hired prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump. All right, Campus Police Chief Michael Peeler released little information. So this basically is kind of saying the same thing that I just read from the NPR. Let's see. That's saying the same thing. The chief state medical examiner was conducting an autopsy. Okay. So they are doing the autopsy. Don't hear much about investigating, which is wild to me. Peeler said the evidence includes video footage, but wouldn't say what it shows and where it came from, citing the ongoing investigation. So they're saying the same thing that NPR said. Ben Crump, however, said that whatever they have, the student's family should be able to view it. So it doesn't say whether they have. He said he also plans to lead an investigation alongside civil rights groups that would include an independent autopsy. There's where, so they are getting an independent autopsy. It looks like they're going to have to do their own investigation as well. We're taking every step to uncover the truth about what happened, Crump said. Family members also pressed for more information from university officials during a news conference on Tuesday. Vanessa Jones, another attorney for the family, said the student had just started classes at Delta State this fall and was full of life, eager to be there. So we read that from NPR as well. This is the Mississippi Free Press, if anybody wants to go back and look at these. Let's see. There should have been cameras at the university that easily could enlighten us as to what happened, Jones told reporters. And we did read that. So this article is almost mirroring the same things that the NPR article said. So they're saying that he was found. He was not found with like broken limbs. And then, but someone said, oh no, I saw no broken limbs, Rourke said, explaining that he assisted deputy coroner. Okay, so the assistant deputy coroner said that he saw no broken limbs. Rourke's assessment was echoed the next day in a press statement by Bolivar County Coroner Rudolph Seals. So basically, so they're saying he had no lacerations, no contusions, no fractures, nothing that would be consistent with an assault. So they definitely need to get another autopsy, but did they look for any type of I don't know. Yeah, I wish that they were releasing more information. That too fuel. Okay, so on Tuesday, Jones said during a press conference that the Grenada County Sheriff's Department had initially told the family that Reed died in his dorm room before they learned that he was found hanging in a tree. That too fueled rumors online. Did they tell him that or did they? I'm not understanding. Let's see. On Tuesday, Jones said during a press conference on Tuesday that the Grenada County Sheriff's Department had initially told the family that Reed died in his dorm room before they learned that he was found hanging in a tree. So why would you tell a person that, why would they say that? And they're the sheriff's department. So it sounds like the sheriff's department did initially tell the family that Trey Reed was found in his room. And I don't know why they would not give, the correct information the first time when you're having to tell somebody's family that type of information. Hi, Miss R. Clark. Thank you for stopping in. Okay. Oh, yeah. That's unacceptable. Some of this is. I feel like this is it's unacceptable, and it's very cold. It feels aloof and cold and like, oh well, and like, this is pretty ridiculous. And hello, a lady 747. Yes, thank y'all for stopping in. And again, to Miss Nia Grace, if you're still here, thank you so much. I appreciate your generosity. Yeah, this is no excuse for the way that this is being done. Because if it is, cut and dry, we saw how he did it. It is what it is. It's consistent with somebody doing this themselves. Then say all of that, or say that we have an active investigation because, whatever the reasons are that you would have an active investigation. But to just run up and say, oh, nothing to see here, folks, no foul play. That's okay. And what else? Like you cannot just tell people that on a tree hanging in Mississippi. This is it's unacceptable. So let's see. Grenada County Sheriff's Department Chief Deputy Rick Williamson told the Mississippi Free Press in an interview on Wednesday that neither he nor his investigator, Sonia Willis, specified where Reed had been found when they informed the family of Trey Reed's death on Monday. Grenada, his childhood hometown, is located roughly an hour east of Cleveland, where he was studying at Delta State University. So somebody is denying that they ever told the family what the family says that they said, which is that he was found in his dorm. And here's what they said in quotes: "That was never the words that were said when they were notified of his death. Absolutely not. The conversation was that me and my investigator were there to the grandparents of Trey Reed had them sit down on the porch, and we told them that we had been sent to notify them that Trey Reed had been found deceased at the Delta State University and that the DSU police chief was on scene," Williamson said on Wednesday afternoon. So that's the quote that Williamson gave. And then also in quotes, "I said, I don't recall the exact wording, but that they didn't believe it had been done by anyone else He continued, I handed them the note with the chief's name and phone number and asked, could we pray with them? We prayed, and as we were leaving, the grandmother asked, was he down on the floor? Was he by his bed? I said, ma'am, I do not know. And that's when we walked away. Why wouldn't they tell the people what happened and how this happened? At a press conference on Wednesday, Delta State President Dan Ennis acknowledged the painful history that has informed the reaction to Reed's unaliving. And then in quotes, we recognize this is not only about facts, he said, it's about emotions and about feelings and the way this loss and how it was discovered affects people's lives. And I still say it's about what the F happened and what are y'all doing to find out exactly how this happened and who's responsible. So it's, yeah, I mean, let's just get on back to the facts, because they're not saying a lot of things. They're not saying that they're doing a lot of things. They're not saying they're looking into a bunch of things. They're just saying nothing to see here, folks. And I don't get that. And like I said, if that's what you are going to tell me, then tell me why. And I don't even see a bunch of why in here. You know, you need to be able to tell me, okay, this is how he did it. It's consistent with the way that we know that these take place when people do them themselves. Here's everything that he would have needed to do it himself. And here's, go into that, but don't just say that there's no foul play. And we're not even hearing anything about an investigation. That's who's going to accept that. That's unacceptable. Many social media posts about the case have evoked a darker period in U.S. history when the unalivings of Black people by white people inflicted racial terror in Mississippi and other parts of the Deep South. They include the infamous, okay, so I read this also. This was 30 miles from where they found Emmett Till. So that is consistent with also what's in the NPR. I just kind of wanted to skip over to this article to see if there was anything different over here than in NPR. Let's see. So they also talked to Marquand McKinney. They're just basically saying the same thing from NPR. Okay, well, that's it for right now. So they're going to, the family is getting an independent autopsy. They've hired Ben Crump, and looks like they're getting an independent investigation as well. And looks like they're going to need it, because out of all of this reading, I have not seen where this police department, other than reaching out to the FBI, whom we hope that they have some career people over there that are interested in, finding justice for people. But, I don't think that they've said the FBI is definitely investigating. They said they were reaching out to the FBI, and that Ben Crump is, along with the family, looking into doing his own investigation, and definitely his own independent autopsy. How do you say that word? Autopsy. So, all right, y'all. I have been seeing what happened to this young man, and just looking to see, like, okay, how many days is it going to take for them to come out and tell us something about what they're doing about this. And it really does seem like if the family had not hired their own civil rights attorney, they would have just, went on about their way and said no foul play. But they don't have the results in as of yet. But they've already said there's no broken bones, no this, no that, So I just don't. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in what their autopsy is gonna conclude, and then especially with them not talking a lot about an investigation. So let's see. Kash Patel is head of the FBI. So yes, a lady. That's that's why that's why I'm saying this. I mean, if they don't have people that are there and that are, dedicated to the real job of what the FBI does, then that's not gonna do much good either. But hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. Now there's another man. I think it was a man. They're saying that there's another man that the very next day after this incident, another man was found hanging in Mississippi. So I'll find that and I'll come back with that a little bit later, so we can see what the differences and similarities are to that. And this is, a sad day in these times that we're living in. It's for a lot of different reasons. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But I sure do thank y'all for stopping by. Oh, let me tell y'all before you go a funny story. So if you if you were around the YouTube streets when Kevin Samuels was on here, then you might remember that one day he was doing his show, and all of a sudden, there was like the show went from him to like it looked like the other side of his room, and like there was a man laying in the bed or something like that. I don't know if y'all remember that, but it came to my mind that that I don't know if he explained that away, or I really, because I didn't look at him. I just remember that I saw somebody's show when it happened. So I don't know how he ever explained that away. But yesterday I was doing this, reporting on something, and I had just the avatar on like I do, and a call came in. So then after the call rolled off, then it took my camera off, and the screen flipped from being on avatar to just pointed down at my computer. It's just pointed down at my desk. So basically it didn't flip from me to my desk. It flipped from my avatar to the what is it, the back camera, and it was just pointed downward at my desk. And I was like, I'll bet that that's what happened to Kevin Samuels that day. He probably had a call roll in, and after that call, hung up, then it went from his front camera that would have been facing him to the back camera that would have been facing the other side of his room. So I just thought that was so funny. So he said he was hacked. Yeah, no. A call rolled in. Let me tell you exactly what happened. That call rolled in, and it went from my avatar to my back camera. So probably the same thing happened to him, and he definitely had a man over that back camera was staring at. So anyway, all right, y'all. Well, I will be back. Maybe, I don't know. Well, I probably can't come back later because I have to go to a football game, but probably tomorrow with that other story once I find it. All right, but thank y'all for stopping by, and I will see you on the next